Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, January 17th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. First up, Google, something's been going on this whole week, some type of update's been going on earlier this week, late last week. A lot of chatter. Google has not confirmed anything. A lot of people are thinking it's a Panda refresh of some sorts. So if you saw anything, January 14th, check that out. Also this week there was a major Google Maps business location hack where Google Places listings from thousands of hotels were hijacked, replacing the hotel's URL with an affiliate spammer URL. Danny Sullivan wrote about it, broke the story, and all Google has done was respond in a Google Business Help thread saying, spam issue for some hotels and places for business. We've identified a spam issue in places for business that impacted a limited number of business listings in the hotel vertical. The issue is limited to changing the URL for these businesses. The team is working to fix the problem as soon as possible and prevent it from happening again. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. That's Google's response for a small little thing that impacted thousands of hotels, major brand hotels, for a long, actually it's probably still today, for about a week or so. Bing is now fully supporting HTTPS, SSL Search on their sites. All you have to do is go to Bing with an HTTPS in the URL, and you got secure search. Currently, it seems like Bing is not passing the query parameter information to marketers. So the question is this going to increase the not provided count? But Bing told us that they are going to keep SEO and SEM community on top of mind when they go ahead and consider rolling this out. Right now they're just testing it, and more might be coming in the future. So we did a poll a while ago asking people, did a disavow tool benefit you after you used the disavow link tool? So we had over 400 responses, and the responses were pretty much only 15% said they had a ranking benefit after using the disavow tool, 50% said they had no benefit of ranking at all afterwards, and the rest were still unsure. So just keep that in mind. There are definitely sites that benefit from it, but once you remove the links that have helped you, and Google discredit them, obviously removing those links aren't going to make a difference until you get new links. Google did a link scheme update to their guidelines. I talked about this last week. Truth is, it didn't make much of a difference. What they actually practiced was what they actually updated it to. So if you see, the reason they updated it was because Matt Cutts said that Danny Sullivan pointed out the language was very, very general when it should have been more specific. So all they did was actually update the language, but in truth, they didn't really make any change to how they actually practiced that thing. Google's Matt Cutts released a video this week saying we don't have different algorithms for different ranking positions. So if you see position 1, 2, and 3, that doesn't have a standalone ranking algorithm than position 4, 5, and 6. It's all one ranking algorithm on the web. Obviously there's video that gets in there, there's local, there's images. Those are probably slightly different ranking algorithms, but in terms of the actual web results, it's one algorithm. TD Canada Trust, a major bank in Canada, also in the US and across the world, posted they had a problem. Basically, if you did a search for them in Google Canada, up came their mobile version of their website. And Patrick from TD Trust asked why, and John Mueller says, yep, you make mistakes like everybody else. Basically, you were specifying probably in your webmaster tools that the mobile version was your actual preferred domain. So be careful with that. This is interesting. The thread was deleted, but basically some lawyer/journalist went ahead and threatened Google like you wouldn't believe because Google did not respond to the questions he had about his Webmaster Tools reports. So he went off on this long rant. I captured the rant. If you have time, you want a good holiday laugh, or sorry, weekend laugh, go ahead and read it, January 15th at seroundtable.com. Basically yelling at Google, threatening to sue Google, on and on. One thing you don't do is yell at Google and threaten to sue Google. But this lawyer thinks he's bigger than all of Google's lawyers put together. And he went ahead and did that. For some reason the thread was deleted. I'm not sure why. I think only Google is able to delete threads. That being the case, it is gone. Pierre Farr from Google posted something on Google Plus asking people what annoys them or confuses them the most about when they have to move a website. they want to build some features into Google Webmaster Tools to improve that feature in terms of when you do have to move a site from one URL to another, or you acquire a site and how you handle that. So Pierre Farr is asking for people to actually provide feedback on his Google Plus page about that topic. So if you do have anything you want to add, check out that post and link to the Google Plus page. This is pretty crazy. It's still an issue, I think. If you do a search for freezing in Google, up comes a lot of what's called manga or anime, Japanese anime or cartoon porn. Pretty interesting. I guess there's a cartoon called Freezing that is but his title, but if you search for it, even with Safe Search on, it still comes up. The question is why, I'm not sure. Some big news this week, Google bought Nest. It's that company that makes smart hardware like thermostats and smoke detectors. So they bought Nest, but for $3.2 billion. I'm not joking, $3.2 billion in cash. I suspect they bought it for the ability to actually create cooler hardware. The person who runs Nest's design team worked for Apple. He created the iPod. So they're probably looking for somebody to make iPod or Apple level types of products at Google. But the big talk is, wow, Google bought Nest and they're going to have Google products in your house. But to top that, Google announced last night they designed a contact lens that you could put in your eye. And that contact lens, is really made for the purpose of helping people with diabetes do early warning systems. So they want to go ahead as a smart contact lens that's built to measure glucose levels in the tears using tiny wireless chips and miniature glucose sensors that are embedded between two layers of soft contact lens material. In the future, they actually want to integrate tiny LEDs that can light up to indicate that the glucose levels have reached above or below certain thresholds. In my opinion, this is Google's first step to embedded Google, or embedded technology, or wearable technology, not wearable, but embedded technology into your body. It's no joke that Google's co-founder wants to eventually implant computing in your actual body, your brain. So this is one closer step. It's not Google Glass, it's not a wireless phone, it's not a computer, it's a contact lens in your eye. Anyway, it's pretty cool what they're doing. Thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and that's the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at SERoundtable.com. Thanks, bye.